Hello and welcome to Leaders in Studio and our Brazil edition. We travel around the world to interview top leaders in IT, to inspire you guys with amazing stories, industry trends, and innovative ideas. And my name is Juliana Zilbermans. I'm Chief Revenue Officer for Avenue Code. And today I have pleasure to have André Souza with me. He's a regional CIO and head of software connected vehicles at Stellantis of South America. Welcome, André.
Hi, Yuli.
Hi.
The pleasure is mine.
Great to see you again.
Yeah.
I know we spent some time talking and on videos and calls and meetings, and I have interviewed a lot of CIOs in Silicon Valley and San Francisco and other areas, and you strike me as a very different CIO. I call it a modern CIO, a person who connects to the audience in a different way, to your teams. So my question to you. What are the traits of modern CIO, and how do you cultivate your leadership and connectedness to the team?
Okay. First of all, the modern CIO is not a technical guy. Okay, you can have the background related to the technician aspects, but the most important thing is to be strongly aligned with the business. So when you sit in the table of the board, you are there not only to talk about the IT and the technical points. You are there to contribute with the business and the strategy. It's the first important point. Okay. The second point, when you work with your team, you need to use to serve more, to be a leader, but to be a leader as an adaptive leadership. So sometimes you need to be a coach. Sometimes you need to drive the team, okay, to guide in the right direction. And sometimes you need only stay in listening what your team is telling to you. I believe this is most important thing when we want to build high performance teams. Okay. The third aspect I believe is also relevant is you need to work together. What is work together? It's not share decisions, but it's build the decisions together. Okay. Sometimes you have some challenge when you need to share that with the team, but sometimes you have some challenge you need to take that only by yourself, okay, and transmit more safety to the team.
Yes.
Okay, so it's very, very important point.
Beautiful. To summarize, it's about not being technical, but business oriented, but also connected to teams, adaptive.
Yeah.
When you really understand the dynamic of the team, you bring ideas, but also you cultivate ideas to come to you, and creating safety and environment where people can actually be feeling comfortable, right? Sometimes to share with you ideas, because I totally see that this is not a very typical CIO role that
when before to be a CIO, I was in charge in IT, but was manager for industrial and quality. In industrial and quality was very important to be close of the shop floor, sometimes to be close of the problems. So use the term is Gemba. So be near of the problems to better understand that. We need to use the same context, the same practice with your team. So it's not stay in your office, but stay near of your team.
Beautiful. So you let them be there and then bring the problems to you directly. So you can see it. Awesome. Great. Another thing that I learned from you guys that for the 2 consecutive years, you've been winning and being a top 100 innovative companies in IT, which is amazing. Congratulations. And I know I've seen some videos about Innovation Week. How do you cultivate innovation at Stellantis today?
Okay. First of all, the innovation is not responsibility of one person or one small group in the company. Innovation should be in the mindset of the company, should be in DNA of the company. In Stellantis, we are proud to say that, okay, we have the innovation in our DNA. What is that? is to be open to receive new ideas, is stimulate new ideas. My team is in charge not only digital transformation, but also how we can give methods to the team to practice the innovation. It's a different to have the owner of innovation. Okay, each person in the company needs to be in charge of to innovate, and we do that. We have some events to stimulate that. As you said, the Innovation Week. We have one time a year an event we called before challenge, digital challenge. The last year, this event turned a global event called Startup. Okay, yes. The Startup is a global event where each region in the company suggests some different projects of innovations, and after that you have one project by region representing in a global presentation to our CEO and others EVPs in the company. Right. So it's a very important point because this is stimulate and give the visibility of how the innovation is moving, the open innovation is moving the company. But we also have, in fact, we still have the event called Challenge, because we consider it's very important also to have the innovation not looking for outside, not looking for new, let me say, new opportunities in terms of business, but also looking for the opportunities to improve our process performance. For that, we have this digital challenge to not only, now we want to see new proposals for innovate in the process, but we give to these people, to this employee, the coaching, the mentoring, to support them, to leverage their knowledge. Okay, so it's a way when we are promoting not only innovation but the digital transformation. It's a long journey for that, and the people. In fact, the end of each event that we do the survey, and the KPIs, the NPS is always good, pretty good. So every year we need to repeat because the people ask us, they expect, when we have the new challenge. But it's only some initiatives you have. The most important is to have this DNA in the company, and our CEO is a sponsor of that. Our CEO is also a sponsor of that. Try, fail, so accept the fail, empower the people. So we have a lot of aspects you need to consider to leverage the innovation spirit, the innovation DNA in the company.
That's great. You just described what true DNA is, because there is innovation labs, there's innovation small groups, but from you, it's from the bottom to the top. Every single person has say and has a little involvement where they can cultivate support from the top, and every single person can actually be coached and trained. That's amazing. I think that's why you guys winning.
What is the best way to innovate? Who is the best person to innovate? Is who knows very well the process, who knows very well the context. So sometimes the people have the ideas, have some suggestions, but they are afraid. They are I'm not. Expose me on that.
There's no support. And
when you have the process, when you can suggest, you can propose, you can implement that. If fail, let's go. You learn something. Let's go to the next. When you have this kind of environment, it's totally different.
Absolutely. Another thing you mentioned is now it's going global. So my next question is about the pandemic and post-pandemic. I know it's been hard to get into the rhythm, right? And everybody had to adapt. But what I hear from you is now, even in the globe, everybody connected, even in innovation, using the best ideas, the best country that brings it. Tell me a little bit more about how post-pandemic and opportunities that you see new ideas with seeing it in a different way, where it's a new era of of the IT and the world. And
Okay. In fact, we in the pandemic, the XPSA, has a process they call NIA, so New Era of Agility, and we extended that. We roll out that to Stellantis, and it's exactly this approach with the employees to work from everywhere.
Yeah.
To be more open and flexible environment, work hours. So exactly as you say, is a new era, a new era of agility for us. But coming back to your point exactly, when the merge was announced, we received some clear guidelines, clear objectives. The first one was, okay, now we need to define a new organization in the company. Okay, this new organization should be, okay, you have two companies, and now we need to build only one company in terms of people, in terms of governance model. So the second point was, now we need to find opportunities of synergies.
Yeah.
Okay. When we wanted to looking for synergies, you need to interact, you need to work integrated as a company to understand the best practices we have in each company.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, if you have a best practice in XPSA, use this best practice to Stellantis.
Yeah.
If we have the best practice for FCA, use that for the Stellantis too.
Do you have a committee that looks at it, or individual leaders? How do you actually identify which practice is the best practice?
Okay, we are structured as a clusters. Okay, so I have, for example, in ICT, was necessary to identify, compare contracts, compare practices, compare systems, to identify the best solution. I can say the best convergence in ICT was and it was hard, because in terms of collaborative tools, we in FCA we used Google Workspace.
Yep.
In PSA, use Microsoft Office 360.
Yeah.
And okay, now in the beginning, in the day one, we started integrating those platforms, but we was necessary to take decision to have only one.
Yeah.
And now we are moving everybody to Microsoft. Okay. So it's a kind of one example of convergence.
Yeah,
but this decision was driven by experience, costs, cost effectiveness, and the strategy. We use the same for our other clusters. So in manufacturing, they are make the same comparisons. In the sales, the same, so on. And our governance model define common KPIs for many different processes. This enables us to make comparisons in more simple way.
Yeah, very clear, very clear, and in clusters, and making decisions not just on price, but on the most optimal in a different points. You come up with the one big solution. That's great. Question about your personal life, because like I've seen you and your son behind the camera a couple times when you were in a big important meetings talking about big contracts. How do you manage your personal life now, while we're working from home, you have 2 kids, right?
Yeah. I have 2 kids, Phil and Tel, no, in Portuguese, and Arthur. Okay. And also my wife Leila is always there with me, so it's really tough, but thanks of my wife's support, it's possible to manage this routine when we stay 2 years working mainly from home. No? Now we start to move 30% in the office, and they stay 70% of the time at home.
Yes.
So it's not easy, but my kids understood the situation, so need to keep under control there with him. I like too much to practice the workout, so take care of my health. For that, I will wake up usually before 6 a.m. to go to the gym.
It's your me time, right?
Yeah, to go to the gym. My wife also support me on that, because for us it's very, very important to keep the, as we say, so mente sana, corpo sano. It's important to respect that, to be always pretty good for 10, 12 hours of work daily.
Yeah, no, that what you said is so important, and you used to be able to balance it differently, right, before pandemic, but now you had to switch the hours. You had to come up with a new connection with your family, understanding, but you're feeling okay now, right, with that new routine, although it's a shift of hours, a lot of mornings for you.
Yeah, but we learn how to adapt, no?
Yeah.
And also accept that in the other from the other side, because you have this screen the other side, and there are other people living the same situation, the same, or in different environments, but the same situation. And I perceive that in different situations coming from my team. For example, there are people when they have kids, but there are situations when the people is always alone in the apartment.
Yes.
So it's a different
maybe
perception.
Also there's a lot of emotional, isolation sometimes when they're alone. Yeah.
We create some programs, okay, when we try to use that to keep the people engaged with us, not only in the environment of work, but in the personal life, entertainment, and enjoying the moments out of the office. So is that, but I imagine this pandemic is not only changed the relations of consumers, but it's changed also the relations between companies and employees. Okay. And we are learning how to work in the best way in this new world. Like, it's not new world now. It's our world.
It's a norm. Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much, because what you gave us is a lot of great ideas about innovation, about balancing life, but also I know everybody's living through this time, and the more ideas that we collect, the better in the environment. So thank you for joining us today, André, and it's been a pleasure to interview you and see you in person in the studio. I know we wanted to make it special and no more the behind the camera, but seeing you in person. So thanks for joining us.
It was a pleasure also for me to take this time to be here, to see you again.
Yes, thank you.
Always see only through the video, and now in person is very
awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much. You just watched a very insightful conversation with André, and we look forward to see you in other episodes of Leaders in Studio.